You made it. Congratulations. Sincerely, sincerely, the song in my head was All the Way Up. Like, nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Like, that was a song that came to my head. It was an instrumental first, and I was like, okay. But, you know, I pulled these 4 cards, right? And they're all divine feminine cards. Okay. Like, I wasn't going to share this, but this is not just for me. These are all divine feminine cards, but this definitely speaks to a like union too. Like, it's not without the masculine. Like, that's the thing about divine energy and divine union or sacred union, is where there's one, there's the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're never truly separated from our divine counterpart. And so, like, with this reading being all feminine cards here, like, this is speaking to like a culmination, like, and like a birth, and like a return to oneness and wholeness, right? Like, with that feminine energy, like, you get the wholeness, and masculine represents the independence. See what I'm saying? But it's like, it all comes back to one thing here. And it's crazy how all 4 of these cards represent the 4 elements. You have Yemaya with the replenish card there, right? With water. Het Haru with compassion, or Hathor, Het Haru, and that's the sun or fire. She's the daughter of Ra, the sun god. You have lineage, tree of life, which is earth, and you have truth, which is Shakti. And we're using that to represent air. Okay, so, I say congratulations sincerely, because this is about like really bringing it home. You know what I mean? Bringing it home, like connecting what you know to who you are, and who you are to what you know. And this spans across bloodlines and beyond bloodlines, but to ancestors that deal with nature, right? And that's why I started with talking about the elements here. You know what I'm saying? Like, knowing that your ancestor is the elements themselves. And you at this point represent a culmination of that. You represent a coming together of elements. Like, this is like true alchemy, transformation, and embodiment of what you know yourself to be beyond the physical, but also what you represent in the physical. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've had to take a lot of time, and it still requires a lot of time to replenish and know yourself. Like, that's never going to stop. Like, your need to have boundaries and have your practices that keep you centered and keep you anchored are very important, because, in the physical world, it can be easy to get rocked out of a higher vibration. You know what I mean? Depending on what goes on and certain unpredictability. So having anchors to keep you focused and to keep you aligned with your highest consciousness are always going to be important from this point moving forward. And also with compassion here, like, things that other people are not aware of, right? Like, things that other people aren't aware of. So you have to be the centered one. That's what it represents here. It's not necessarily, it's not a glorification. Like, I don't see this card as a glorification. It's just, yourself to be centered. You can observe, right? You are the illuminated one amongst many, in many situations, right? You're right across in both ways from a highlight and a low light. You see the candle on the table in the compassion card, like at the other end, and then you see the moon behind her illuminated. So it's like, you have to be aware of the physical, right? The practical and the spiritual, or the higher consciousness, higher realms at the same time. And you've learned how to do that throughout time. You've had to be separated from a lot of things, like in the physical world, be it people, places, or things, but like even in your mind and consciousness and knowledge, like, you've had that experience of not knowing who you are and not knowing your history, as do many, melanated people, specifically brown, black people, are separated very much so from who they are and what they are in terms of connection to this planet and to the peoples who have existed on this planet. And so you have had to go on a very long journey. There are very high number of cards here, 44, 36, 24. Like, you've had to go like decades of time spent connecting and practicing a form of syncretism, right? With the truth card with Shakti, like synchronizing certain understandings of spirituality and understandings of what it means to be connected to something. So, that takes a lot of time. You've had to separate to be reconnected, and it's been a tumultuous journey, but now you represent something, for yourself, but also for the divine. Like, when you talk about breaking generational curses, like this is more than just like your family, like generational curses. This is generational in society as well. It's so much bigger than what you may think it is. You know what I mean? It's so much bigger than what you may think it is. Like, and it's not necessarily that a whole bunch of people are gonna like watch you, or a whole bunch of people can see you. It just is. It's energy. It's your energy. Like, your energy represents a coming together and a reconnecting of a divine way of understanding your life and how to express yourself. But again, you're gonna have to always have your anchors here. I don't know what that might mean for you. You know what I mean? Some type of like trigger or sign or symbol or sigils that you utilize to help you remember what you are. Because like I said, the physical world, has this way with its unpredictabilities and uncertainties to kind of rattle us a little bit. And we may, like, I don't want to say forget, but we get kind of caught up in it, and we lose sight of those more divine principles and divine knowings. You know what I mean? That everything is all, that everybody's a reflection of us. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there has to be specific cues or practices, self-care practices too, that help you on a consistent basis, on a routine basis, remember your higher consciousness as you continue your life on this point or from this point. Okay, because you've connected, like you've respawned your divinity here. Like, you've respawned your knowing of self, like knowing what I am, who I am, why I am. Okay, and like I said, it's taken a long time. So I say congratulations at the morning, because that's at the beginning, because in the morning, because it is the morning, and maybe there was some morning. To be real, maybe there was some morning, maybe there was some grief of having to let things go and not wanting to let things go. You know what I'm saying? But the purpose of that was to understand that you are a part of, collectively, something much bigger than those parts that were leading you to your ascension. Okay? Like, everything that you've dealt with and experienced have led to this exact point in this moment. Okay? And the things you've had to leave behind were a part of that too. It's like training wheels on a bike. Like, you take them off, and they were a part of the fact that you know how to ride the bike. You see what I'm saying? So that was the experiences that you've had to go through. All those moments of separation, or feeling outcasted or left out. Hold on, let me zoom in real quick. You see that, like, behind the tree to the right? Like, that's you. that one person that's kind of been on the outside, and then you see all of those people on the rocks or on the mountains and all of that in front of the tree. Like, you've had to be set apart and separated, and that hurts. It hurts, but it's like everyone that goes on a journey to truth and enlightenment goes through that period of being alone. You know what I mean? Those journeys, of prophets and things like that. So many stories of prophets that had to go through the desert and, in the beyond and in the valleys all alone, just to connect with God or spirit and the Holy Spirit and stuff like that. Like, you have to really find your own way, and that's what you've had to do. Back to the syncretism thing. Like, you're learning how to connect all the things that you've learned. Like, you didn't learn what you learned for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has come a time where you've had to put things to the side, but only to learn something else and then find out that it was all a part of the same puzzle. Like, you had pieces upon pieces that all came together for this puzzle, where it seemed like maybe it wasn't that, but it was. Okay, everything that you've gone through has led to this point, and you've reached a higher level of knowing and a higher level of awareness that you can hold on to, so long as you anchor it. Again, with the Yemaya card here, like, you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourselves, take care of yourselves, okay? Like, have your practices that keep you connected and keep you aligned with your highest knowing, with your higher self, with understanding that you are the elements, that your ancestors are the natural elements of this world and beyond, right? Even in the cosmos, galactic origins and things like that. Again, back to Het Haru with the stars, okay? You have to remember those things, and you have to have things that symbolize your connection to those things, because the world will always be the world. There will always be things changing, and the one thing at this point that is not going to change is your knowing of self. Like, you will remember. You have remembered, literally remembered, re-put together. You've put yourself together. You think of the word like together, to get her, you know what I mean? To get her, to get the feminine energy specifically, right? To bring everything back to wholeness, from separation to wholeness. You know what I mean? And that's what you're experiencing right now. And that's a beautiful thing. So keep your practices up, keep your rituals up, the things that you do, and take care. Okay? Peace.